Hello, second grade students. We're back again with our book American Book Presentation Plus number 1. So, we are going to continue with our classes. In this time, we are going to get on Unit 12. So, in this unit, we have the title Traveler's Tale. No, our objective. In this unit, we have the following functions: talking about travel and transportation, talking about life and experiences. Grammar: present perfect with ever, never, present perfect versus simple past. Vocabulary: transportation and travel verbs. Okay, so the main idea for this unit is present perfect. So we're going to I am going to give you some tips for this tense, okay? So, but we're going to continue with the first activities. Here we have vocabulary, no? Here we have some pictures, A, B, C, D, E, F, and also here we have in number 1 says match the words. Match the words with the photos, write 1 to 6 in the boxes, no? Letter A, and there is a box. We have, listen and repeat: bicycle, bus, boat, car, plane, and train. Once again: bicycle, bus, boat, car, plane, train. So here we have the activity. Let's see. Now here we have A, B, C, D, E, F, and here we have bicycle, bus, boat, car, plane, and train. Now let's see. So this is in your book, remember, and it's the same in the activity, so there is no problem. So number 1, what's number 1? Could be a bicycle, a bus, a boat, car, plane. Okay, you're right. Let's continue with letter B. Bus. Okay, no bus, bus. Next, bicycle, boat, car, train. Yes, you're right, train. Let's continue. What is bicycle? Number 1, 2, or 3? Yes, in the middle. Boat, this or that? Aha, and car. Okay, let's see if your answers are right. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. No? Here you have the vocabulary, you have the pronunciation, and you have some pictures so that you can understand each word. Let's continue. Number 2, name other kind of transportation in English. Okay, class. So we have plane, bus, train, bicycle, car, and a boat. What other kind of transportation can can you tell the class? Remember, transportation. So, for this activity, you are going to think about, and in our classes, we are going to continue with this question. So, you are going to tell me all kind of transportation you can imagine. Okay, let's continue. Let's work with speaking. Work in pairs, ask and answer these questions. Here we have 4 questions. How do you travel? No, how do you travel is like in Spanish, ¿cómo viajas? How do you travel to school, to stores, to the movie theater, or when you go on vacation? For example, me. How do you travel to school? I travel to school by taxi. No, I travel to school by taxi. Number 2, how do you travel to stores? I travel to stores by bicycle. Okay, it's an example. How do you travel to the movie theater? I travel to the movie theater by car. no, by car. How do you travel when you go on vacation? Okay, when I travel or when I go on vacation, I travel by plane. Okay, listen, those are my answers. Now think about you, no? The same questions for you. Okay, now on classes, you are going to answer me those questions. Could be orally or could be through the chat. So be careful, no? For example, here were my answers. Also, here I have a different answer. What's the difference? In this part, they use adverb of frequency, like usually, sometimes, never, always, etc. So there is no problem. How do you travel to school? I usually go by bike. I usually go by taxi. No? Or sometimes I take the bus, sometimes I walk. No, it depends. For example, for the students from Cerro Alegre, they walk. They always walk. Let's continue with number 4. Let's continue with speaking. No, this part says work with a partner, work in pairs or small groups. Read about these people. For each one, say how do you think they could travel. No, for example, here we have four examples from different people, from different kind of people. No, and tell the class how do they travel. For example, number 1, an American family, a couple with 2 children want to go to the UK on vacation. How do you think they travel? Remember, they are in the US, no? They are American and they went to the United Kingdom, to London, for example, no? Or Cambridge. How do you think they travel? Could be by plane, by bus, by ship, by boat, etc. So you can imagine, no? They can travel. Number 2, a student living in London wants to go to Paris. Okay, London and Paris. How do you think this student can go to this place from London to Paris? Number 3, a businesswoman who works in a city is going to a meeting on the other side of the city. For example, this businesswoman is in San Vicente and she wants to go to a meeting in Nuevo Imperial. It's an example, no? How do you think she's going to travel? Number 4. 3 teenagers in a city want to go to a party at a house that is 5 kilometers away. No? 3 students wants to go to a party. This party or the house is 5 kilometers away. So how do they go to the party? So those questions you are going to answer me, okay? Estas preguntas me van a responder. You are going to answer me in the class, okay? Remember, number 2, number 3, and number 4 until now, hasta el momento. Number 5, look at the photos and the title of the blog on the page 111. So this is 110. What do you think the blog is about? Choose the following. So here I have 3 sentences. No? Number 1, someone who travels to many different places. Different ways to travel or different places to travel in the world. So what do you have to do? To check the pictures and the title. That's all. Here are the pictures, no? There is a girl, there is a boat, there is a train, and there is a map. For example, it says Canada, Hawaii, the Caribbean, England, Portugal, Granada, Switzerland, Spain, Burma, I mean. Let me see. Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, Australia, and New Zealand. So look at these flags. She's going to travel to all of these places, no? And I said that's a travel blog. The non-stop traveler. What is non-stop? No para. Okay, la viajera que no para. So We have the pictures. Now here's another picture. They looks like Chinese people, and in this part say that they go to Thailand or Vietnam. So could be one of those places. So let's go back to the question. No? In this part says, look at the photos and the title of the blog on page 111. What do you think the blog is about? Someone who travels to many places, to many different places, different ways to travel, or different places to travel in the world. Okay, you can decide each one. Okay, for example, for some students could be number one, for others number two, and others number three. But we don't know because we haven't read. Okay, aún no hemos leído. So we haven't read. So let's see. Read and listen to the blog and check your ideas. Okay, read and listen. Let's see. Ted's, wait a minute. Okay, Ted's travel blog, the non-stop traveler. Hello to all my readers. This week, I've decided to write about travel. Perhaps, like me, you've always thought that traveling is something for rich people. Well, now I think I've been wrong all this time. Why? Because I've discovered Nora Dum. Nora is one of a new kind of travelers, a professional world traveler. She travels all the time, noticed from Toronto, Canada, and until she was 30, she had a business there. But then she made a big decision. Her dream was to travel the world and to do it before she got old. So she sold her business and and got rid of her belongings and off she went. Nora doesn't have rich parents or anyone who gives her money, and she doesn't have a high-paying job. But she's learned how to travel without spending a lot of money. Nora goes to places and stays there for some time. She works to earn enough money to have a good time and to save a bit. Then she moves to another place. She prefers simple forms of transportation like trains or buses. But of course, there are times when planes are a necessity. And she rides from whatever she is. Sorry, and she rides from wherever she is, which earns her some money too. She's done a lot of different jobs, including working in hotels and in restaurants, and she's learned things like cooking and meditation. So, where has Nora been? Everywhere. She's been to 5 continents, and she's traveled to over 30 countries, all in 6 years. She's taking a train across Canada, and she's traveled by train from Portugal and Vietnam too. Sorry, from Portugal to Vietnam. An incredible journey. She's lived on a boat in the Caribbean, and she worked for the accommodations in Hawaii, Australia, New Zealand, Spain, England, Grenada, and Switzerland, and a number of other places too. And she's been on television shows in 3 countries. She had a lot of fantastic adventures, and she hasn't stopped finding new things. Some of her experiences have not been easy ones. In 2008, she helped people in Thailand and Burma after a cyclone hit their countries. And in 1909, she helped fight forest fires in Australia. So, she's seen a lot of far. Sorry, she's seen a lot so far. She's learned that full-time travel doesn't have to be expensive, and she knows now that there are plenty of ways to do it. So many ways, in fact, that she started a website to tell other people about them. It's theprofessionalhub.com, I've seen a lot of travel sites, and this is one of the best. Take a look. Perhaps you'll be the next world traveler. See you next week. Okay, so this was the text. I read the text, no? And the idea is to answer some questions. So let's go back to the activity. Now here it says, Notre Dame wanted to travel the world when she got old. See here. No? So here is for answering, no? And the answer are in the text. Number one, Notre Dame wanted to travel the world until she got old. Quería viajar hasta que ella sea mayor, adulta. Number two, Nora gets her money from some rich friends. So she has got some rich friends, millionaires, and they gave her the money. Number three, sometimes she writes home to ask for some money. No, in some cases, she asks her mom or her dad for money. Number four, she does the same job everywhere she goes. Not the same job. Number five, she traveled by boat to the Caribbean. Number six, she has appeared on television in every country she's visited. Number seven, life is always easy for her when she travels. And number eight, she has a website to tell people how to spend a lot of money traveling. So, what's the idea? To answer. So, I've read. You can read also. Okay, you can. This is the activity. No, it's the same one. If you wanna, you can. I read. No, the book also has the activity, but you can look for the reading and you can listen to me. No, in our classes we are going to answer those questions. So here is the activity, and here it says travel broadens the mind. No. Read what people said about Notre Dame, match the comments from 1 to 4 with the values A to D. So the idea is, what do people think about this website? No? About Notre Dame. For example, this is personal, eh? She's seen so many different countries, so she probably understands all kind of people. So maybe she can speak many languages. It's a possibility. She's probably a better person now because she learned so many things. No, a better person. So maybe she learned different things, and it makes her a better person. Number three, I think it's wonderful what she did in Burma with a cyclone and in Australia with a fire. Number four, it's great that she's living her life without thinking about money all the time. So, the idea is says match the comments with the values. Okay, let's see. Here are the comments and here is the value. For example, she's seen so many different countries, so she probably understands all kind of people. Helping other people, that's the value? I don't think so. Self-improvement, not worrying about money or learning about other cultures. Could be learning, could be this. No, number two, she's probably a better person, not because she learned so many things. Aha, this could be also, no? Okay, let's see. I think it's beautiful what she did in Burma with the cyclone and the Australia with the fire. No? Helping other people? Yeah, it's a possibility. It's great that she's living her life without thinking about money all the time. No? She's not worried about money. Okay. Now remember, here could be this or this. No? Let's see those. Okay, in this part, they are okay. So I'm going to leave those ones for you. Now, read and try to look for the answer. Okay? Now, let's see. Here, we're going to see the topic, the real topic, present perfect. But we're going to make an introduction for the present perfect. We're going to do the real thing the next class, where is a feedback. Look, for the present perfect we have 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, only for the introduction. Use the present perfect to talk about actions that happen sometimes in your life up to now. From the present perfect with a simple present form of past participle of the verb here. Now let's see. Here. Read and complete the sentences from the block. Perhaps, like me, you, always, that traveling is something for rich people. Now, I think I wrong all this time. She a lot of different jobs. Number 4. So where not a Number 5. Some of her experience easy ones. So what's the idea is to complete these sentences from this article. Okay? Number 1. So we're going to do it together in classes. That is the first part. Now the second part says underline all the examples from the present perfect in the block. So we are going to learn present perfect. So you're not only going to do this, no, you're going to try to find more examples with the present perfect. We have affirmative, negative, and questions. But this is the part that I want to go. If you learn this part, this is going to be very easy. But if you don't, it is going to be very difficult. Listen, for the present perfect, you need verbs. Okay, you need verbs. And those verbs need to be in the past participle. When I say base form is the present. And the past participle is the last. For example, if you check your book, you have the base form, the present, the past, and the past participle. You have 3 columns, no? Okay, you need the number 3, the past participle. For example, if I say be, here is been. Can you remember in the past was and were? For example, do, in the past is did. In the past participle, So I'm going to complete this activity for you. Okay, I'm going to do this. For example, here I have the rule. Now look, she has gone. Okay. I'm going to leave this for a while. I'm going to continue with this. Number 1, do. In the past, you say did. Okay, in the past you say did, but you don't need the past. You need the past participle. So you need done. For example, you say go, teacher, when? Okay, but when is the simple past? You need the past participle, gone. See, so, perfect. But so is the simple past, no? So, you don't need so. You need the past participle, sing, right? Wrote, but you don't need wrote. You need written. Meet. For example, in this case, in the past simple, met. In the past participle, met. So you're lucky. Speak, spoke, spoken. Excuse me. Spoken. Eat, ate, eating. Excuse me, eating. Take, took, taken. Fly, flow, flew. Sorry, flown. Flew is the past. Flown. Swim, swam, swam. Okay. Win, won. So in this case, meet and win are very similar because in the past and the past participle is the same. Now let's check. Maybe I have a mistake. There is no problem. I make mistakes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, all of them are correct. So please take a screenshot and practice those verbs for our classes. If you do this, excellent. If you don't, you have to do it. Thank you so much. See you Friday. Take care. Bye bye.